Okay, hi. It's 2:06 in the morning. I just had a really crazy dream. Um, so, so my, so the thing that that I've been, okay. Alright, in my other videos, I talk about, like, I talk to spirit and stuff like that. And, they told me to study one system. And it's like when you understand, they told me that I'm sorry. I'm really fuzzy right now. They said that just pick one system and study that. And when you study that system and you understand that system, then you understand how much you understand, like, more than one system. You understand more than that. So I picked the cell body, like the human cell body, and it's like by understanding that one small system, you can understand, like, something as large as the cosmos or something like that. Like, it's just a one version of understand. All right, I'm fuzzy. Okay, so about 3 or 4 months ago, Spirit told me that I was born from the ashes of a volcano. Um, and I think what they told me was I was from a place called Guarana, and oh crap. Oh, you know what? I'll just tell you what the heck. I'll just tell you what happened in my dream. So I always look at a cell body, and I'm like, what would happen if we really zoomed in? Like, I know we zoom in, and we see, like, really smaller things, and you zoom into atoms, you see smaller things, but I'm like, okay, well, what do they look like on a grand scale? Like, I know that's what it looks like at a small level. It looks like a cell body, and we're like, oh, okay, they're in our bodies and the little cells, get it. But then I'm like, okay, well, what does it look like on a much larger scale than that? And I'm like, well, maybe, like, the Earth is like a cell body, you know what I mean? And even though it doesn't look exactly the same as it does at a microscopic level, we describe the things on one planet. It's like that describes, like, a cell body at that size, like at that level and that perception. And ouch. And I always think about, like, my home planet, and the first thing I think of is, like, in my other video I talk about, like, concentrated oxygen, and I talk and the dream that I had, uh like when I was a child, like really young, was that I was underwater, and that's like where I lived. I lived underwater, and there were, like, volcanoes underwater. Um, like, that's just something I'm super in tune with. Like, I've always been in tune with that. In the dream, it was like, okay, I live underwater, or something like that. And um, I woke up I just woke up, and I gotta be honest with you. I don't really remember everything, but what I can remember is that, like, I always wonder. I remember asking Spirit, I was like, well, I wonder what it feels like to be, like, inside of a volcano. Like, I must remember, like, I must have cellular memory. Like, I must remember that for this to be, like, such a big thing that Spirit keeps talking to me about, and something that I've dreamt about. And, you know, this must be something that I remember. And then I was like, I always want to look at the stars, and I always, I think I made another video about how, like, I took a leaf with holes in it, and I looked at the sun, and it's like it comes through the holes on the leaf, and I'm like, oh wow, that reminds me of stars. Like, maybe that's how stars are produced. It's like maybe there's like a much larger world above us, that has, like, leaves or something on the ground above us, and it never actually touches us, because science talks about electromagnetic fields, and it's like it looks like it touches, but it doesn't actually touch. And I was using that as, like, a way of understanding. And I don't know, that could be still true, but I'm just, like, trying to figure out what stars are on a much grander scale. Um, and then, like, I woke up, and I was like, Oh my gosh, I'm going so fast. I'm forgetting things too quickly. Um, and then I realized, like, I went to the bathroom. I looked outside the window and I saw the stars. Like I saw Orion's belt, whatever that actually is, and I was like, whoa, maybe I am in a volcano right now. Like maybe I am in a volcano, like on a grander scale or something like that. Like maybe this is what it looks like. Um, like I mean, yeah, you like have all these little cell bodies in a human, and I think about like people being like another version of like, like there's T cells and there's all these other like cells that are actually in your body, and they all go to work and they all have a purpose, and they all keep the much larger body like moving around and stuff like that. And you know, my gosh. Okay. So I was like, all right, well, what if the stars, like, I'm looking at the stars and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what if that's what it looks like from on the inside of a volcano? Is that like, maybe there's like little holes inside like on the outside of the volcano, and it like shines, like maybe the sun shines through that, or maybe something's shining through that, and that's actually what I see is stars, but really what it is light on the other side of the story, on like the other side of the volcanic opening, and what I see is like stars, and well, I see light. I see holes and I see light. And like, cause I wake up and I'm like sweating. I'm like sweating, like holy cow, sweating. And that was like, and I had a dream about it. I had a dream about, I mean, this is something that I feel like I've already known. It was just really interesting. It's like, I woke up, or I mean, I always feel like, it's probably why I talk. I feel like this is the reason why, like, I smoke, and the reason why I think about like fire and water, and it's like something about the two going together. But then I think about water, and then I'm like, I always think of it as concentrated oxygen, and I don't know. I feel like there's so many things going on in my head right now. Because I don't even think you're supposed to smoke in like a highly oxygenated atmosphere, which is really funny. I don't even talk about concentrated oxygen and smoking at the same time. It's like it defies like what we already think about when it comes to oxygen and fire. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll talk about this too. I know this probably doesn't make sense, but maybe it'll make sense later. So last night, right? Well, I mean last night. What am I talking about? Okay, yesterday. Yesterday, I made a video about total disillusion. It's really funny that I would actually have this dream like the next. Okay, so after that video, that total disillusion video, which is the one preceding this one, I think, the sunset, the sunset, amazing. I went outside and like I told you, or I don't know, maybe I didn't tell you. I said I saw 3D pictures. Oh yeah, I think I did. I like look out into the sky and I see clouds and I see light or colors, and you see like pictures and stuff. Well, I see like I see like 3D pictures and stuff like that, and it's funny. It's so funny. And it's like I see oceans surrounding me and stuff like that, and which is even like funnier because I just had a dream about being like this volcano underwater, like I'm underwater in a volcano right now or something like that. Maybe that's the difference between night and day for my particular like geological location. Like maybe that is the difference between night and day. Maybe like I don't know. This is crazy. Okay, so I'll just tell you what I saw because I don't really know yet, but I'll just tell you what I saw. So yeah, so okay, sunset. Right. So I look out, like I step outside my door and I look to the left, and what I see is another 3D picture. And in this 3D picture that I'm seeing in the sky is it's like, all right, well I'll just tell you my intuition. What I saw was the oceans, but I saw it was like it starts out like this movie, right? It's like a movie picture or something like that. Because I look at it and it's like just white. All I see is white, and I see a line like a road or like like a river or something like that. Like it's a clear line and it's kind of swerving. And I'm like, okay, well, it looks kind of like either a road or a river or something like that. And then I'm kind of looking around at something else. Then I look back. Now it's changed. So now it's like a little bit more defined as to being like whatever it is. And it's now got like a little shade of another color. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's more than just that. So then I'm still looking around at something else. And then I look back and it's like happening very quickly now. And I look back again, and now I see, like something in the distance, and something in the distance. It looks like I'm looking at a shoreline. Okay, basically what I'm looking at is a shoreline. Like I'm looking this way, right? I'm looking this way to the sky, and it's like the shoreline is like the same direction as this. If I were to follow the shoreline of what I'm seeing over there up here, the shoreline would be right in front of me, kind of like that. Okay. And it's crazy. Like I could see the beach, like I could see the sand on the beach, like the color of the sand on the beach. I could see like the waves happening in the ocean. I could see the very good. I mean, it was pretty good definition. I mean, I could clearly see that it was definitely an ocean. It was definitely a shoreline, like definitely a shore. I mean. It's interesting because, like, I keep thinking about Atlantis, and I keep thinking about, being, like, underwater, and I keep thinking about that, and I'm like, you know, starships and volcanoes, and, you know, it's like, when I'm channeling, and I think about what I'm concentrated on, and I think about dreams in my past. And I think about this dream right now, and I think about yesterday's sunset, and the 3D picture I saw, and I'm like, this is getting pretty crazy. Yeah, so, I'll just tell you what I think happened. What I think happened was that, like, I'm in a starship, or something like that. Like, I'm actually in a starship, and at night I go underwater. Or something like that. Like, I feel like... Okay, I'm not going to say every day, because you know what? I don't know if it's every day, but maybe that's why it gets dark. I mean, I said the sun was in... You know what? I don't know. I'm just going to tell you what I think. I felt as if I rose up out of the water or something like that. You know, I'm not even sure about that. I'm just going to say what's on my mind. I felt as if I rose up out of the water, because it was like... not something pulled me outside. The sky pulled me outside. The sky just looked totally different than usual. It was like I've been talking about clouds all day, but this time it was like, okay, because there were colors outside, it was just different. It was something pulled me outside, and I went outside. You know, the video about total disillusion, and the fact that I saw a picture of like a 3D picture, something that I haven't really seen in a while. I wonder what shoreline I look at. You know, I know people, there's like, you go on Google Earth, right? And there's like lots of videos of this online, I think. I remember I downloaded Google Earth like a long time ago. I don't know, like maybe 5 months ago, something like that. And I'm like really into geology. Obviously I'm clearly into these things. So, I started investigating the ocean. Like, this is so funny how much this is syncing up. Like, okay, so I kept looking like at the ocean floor, and I kept seeing like geometric of course I did, right? I kept seeing like geometric patterns in the ocean, and there's a certain location, and I can picture it in my mind, but I can't really think of where it is. It's like, okay, it's like if you were to take the shoreline, you know what? I keep wanting to say the other side of the world. Alright, you got the Atlantic, right? And then you got the shoreline of, like the immediate shoreline. Okay, you know what? I'll just do this. Alright, so you got the US over here, right? Is this confusing? You know what? I'll do it this way. I'm not sure how you see this. Say you got the US right here, right? And you got Atlantic Ocean here. and then you've got the other side, right? I think it's like right here. It's like you got the other side, and then I get the shoreline right here, because that's what I'm picturing, okay? I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's where it is. And it's like, I think if you zoom into there, and if it's not there, it's somewhere else. I know it is. It's like, it looks like a bunch of tire marks. Like if you zoom in to that location, well, okay, this is what I did. I did this a long time. I zoomed in and I saw like certain patterns, like there's actually roads and stuff like underneath, like on the ocean floor, that whatever you're zooming into, like that's what it looks like. And I always kept looking at it, and I was like, and this is like before I even like was influenced by anything on the internet. Is like I just kept investigating for myself, like everybody else does on the internet, and I was like, this looks like something much more than what I'm seeing. Oh, I just got shown another picture. So there's this one place I kept zooming into, and it looks like it looks like it's been lived on. Like it looks like it's been, like there's a city there. There's like an actual city there. I remember zooming into it, and I saw like roads, and I saw like clear dots. Whoa. Alright, so they weren't dots, they were like little bumps, or like little tiny bumps, like Braille or something like that, but like on an Earth size, Earth Braille. and it was like, it looked so like particular, like a little bump here and here, here. It was like, you know what I mean? Like a clear, like, pattern, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't anything that looked super, I mean, honestly, when it comes down to science, nothing's really actually, well, okay, anyways, so it looked like an actual design, you know what I mean? Like, it looked like artistry, like somebody actually designed that, like, like the pyramids or something like that. And I remember looking, like, at things around it, and it looked like, of course I remember this. There's gotta be a reason why I remember this so well. And it's like, within those like little bumps and the roads, like they look like actual roads that used to be there. It's like I could see these like little mountains, like teeny tiny mountains, like basically a bigger version of like those little bumps that I'm talking about, except those looked like maybe a little more random than the little ones and stuff like that. But like that's what I was. I can't even remember what I just said before this, but whoa, this is crazy. But like, oh crap. See, oh well, you know what? This will make sense later. I was just showing a picture of that. I was showing a picture of the like medium-sized mountain that I saw down there, and I remember like wondering what that was. I remember this, that I kept looking at that, and that's like one location that I kept focusing on, and I was like, this looks like, this is really crazy. Whenever whenever I think about the beginning, I think about aliens, and I think about oxygen, and I think about underwater. I think about loops. Okay. That probably won't make sense. But that's what I think about. Like, I think about this picture about the beginning, and I think about like extraterrestrials and space. Like, that's basically all I think of. Like, I want to say something more than that, but I don't really know enough right now. But that's what I picture. And when I look at the bottom of the ocean, and I concentrate on that location, that's what I think of. I think of like that's where they are. And I think there's stuff like that on the internet. I don't know, but like that's something that I concentrated immediately on without influence. I mean, you know what? I was influenced by something clearly, because even if I didn't check out anything else on the internet, clearly something brought me there. You know what I mean? Like intuition, like the pictures I'm being shown, stuff like that. But like that's like the location that I'm thinking of, and I kept concentrating on volcanoes and being underwater on my home planet, and like how I talked about. Okay, I have one more thing, and in other videos, I talk about how I see like an ocean above me, and then I talk about like when I see 3D pictures, I'm seeing like the oceans like around me, like surrounding me, and m- my mom, like when I went to the medium lady in Sedona, Arizona, on these road trips that I had gone on this, just like 3 months ago, whatever. Um, my mom told her, told the medium something about bubbles, like something about bubbles, and what I realized is that it's funny. All right, what I realized is that, whenever I look at like the ocean above me, it like goes at a curve. You know what I mean? Like I noticed last night that I went at I mean, last night, the sunset, I noticed that it was like a curve, and this is probably something I already recognize. I feel like I just don't say it enough in the moment, so I end up like going back, but it's all for a reason. So, yeah, it feels like a dome. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like a dome, because I always think about like how these extraterrestrials would live underwater, and I'm like, maybe we're just breathing in the water. Like I don't know, I don't know enough. But this is what I know. This is what I feel intuitively, is that like I might be underwater at night, or I might be underwater. I might be like somewhere where the water is, but like I'm in a bubble or something like that. Like maybe that's what it looks like. Like maybe I keep concentrating on that area because that's where I actually am. Is I'm under I'm in a city, like I'm in a city, but that's where I am. I'm underwater, like I'm in that bubble. Like maybe that's the starship. Maybe that's maybe we just say starship. It's like the best way to understand like a city underwater or something like that. You know what? I don't know enough, but that's what I'm feeling right now. So even if it sounds crazy, like it is what it is at this point. So that's what I feel intuitively. Oh, I can't remember much more from it. I feel like it has something to do with warming up the earth, like, or warming up. Like, I feel as if I'm like a very integral part, and people in my like immediate location. Well, I feel like we all are, and like a very integral part in in uh in in energy distribution and total dissolution, about warming stuff up, because you know it just, I feel like it makes sense. Like the more people that are added onto the earth, like the more heat there is and stuff like that. At least that's the way I feel. And there's got to be a reason why I'm concentrating on like smoking and fire and like I mean when you look at, honestly, when you think about it, everybody's channeling like the same stuff. Like they got, like Google Fire, or that phone, something about fire, and then you got Hunger Games or something like that. I think that it's like the new one's like something about fire. I don't even know. But like when you really look at like the proof being in the pudding, look at what everybody's talking about. It's like look at like the movies, and look at like look around as to what's popular, and fire seems to be a pretty big one when I think about it. It's not just me that's channeling. It's like honestly, it's like everybody's channeling, whether they realize it or not. We all know what's going on because it's whatever the heck we're really, really interested in, right? I mean, it seems like it makes very, very big sense when I think about it. I mean, when I don't think about it, it makes. Okay, what? I don't even remember what I was saying at this point. All right, so now it's 2:32 a.m. But I had to get it out because I was losing it quickly. I was like, oh, maybe I'll fall back asleep. My mom's like, get up, you gotta share it right now. I was like, whoa, got it. Okay. Okay, so that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.